Right then. That's it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Apollo Justice Ace Attorney Trilogy. In the last game we continued on with the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice game out of the trilogy, and we continued on with episode 3, The Right of Turnabout. We had finished off the investigation, day 2 of the investigation, and we had started just about day 2 of the trial, and we were just about to cross-examine Emma because we had some issues with the divination seance, as there just wasn't one. So now we moved on to cross-examining Emma. So then, latest victim was Perez Zalot. What kind of person was Acolyte Zalot? According to neighbors and others who knew him, he was a deeply devout youth. I too have heard his name mentioned as one who was a fervent practitioner. I suppose you might say he was the High Priest's star disciple. Furthermore, hold it! Living in his house and training for 2 years. 2 years? Are you sure about that? Oh my eye. There we go. He took some statements from his neighbours and his fellow monks. They all corroborated our initial findings. What about you, Maya? Well, when I first came here, I saw Zalot praying under the High Priest's instruction. I see. So the results of the police investigation seem to check out. Hold it! Was Mrs. Imi's positive ID the only way? Oh, no. We also checked the ID card he carried, and his personal information didn't match any of the public records we cross-referenced. Maybe that's why the divination... Here's what I'm thinking. The victim decided to hide his identity for some reason. In other words, he was using a fake name. The Royal Priestess uses a deceased face and true name to summon their spirit. Why, yes, that is indeed true. If he was using a forged ID and there is no mention of him in our public records, then he was likely an illegal immigrant. They are not uncommon here in Kurain. An illegal immigrant? Come to think of it, Raven mentioned something about immigrants yesterday. If that's the case, we have no way of knowing who he really was. I had to proceed without holding a divination seance this time. Yeah. I always thought that Acolyte Zalot was Chinese. Oh, how the High Priest must be lamenting his disciples' deception in Twilight Realm. Well, Miss Wright, what do you think? Should we add this testimony? No, add it just on the off chance. This is an important fact. Please add it to the testimony. It seemed to be a fact most inconvenient for the defense. But if you insist, Detective Sky, please add what you just said to your testimony. Yes, Your Majesty. So we don't know his real name. Bring a grub. I don't know.
Hold it!
Isn't there some way to track down his real name? No. If he's an illegal immigrant, can't you confirm that he was in Ukraine legally? Well, we don't have any conclusive evidence. There's also no evidence of him being a citizen of Ukraine either. Oh boy, now what do we do? Well, if there's a kind of evidence you gathered, that's probably our only hope at this point. If he really was an illegal immigrant, our proverbial goose is probably cooked. I'm gonna press this.
Hold it!
I'm gonna press that as well, just on the off chance. Why isn't Lady Kira who's been going around capturing rebels? I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but...
Objection!
That verdict was already handed down in the previous trial. It is no longer a point of dispute, and I will not allow you to make it so. But... No ifs, ands, and most of all, no buts. The accused was posing as Lady Kira. She killed acolytes a lot because she mistakenly believed him to be a rebel. That's not true! I'm sorry. The verdict has already been read in that case. We have to assume that it's fact now. Now what do we do? I know why the divination seance failed, but... nothing's really changed. Yeah, which means we're in big trouble. If he really was an illegal immigrant, it's gonna be really hard to find his father's real name. I guess our only choice is to give up on the whole divination seance thing. Maybe there's some way to find out the victim's real name.
Objection!
Fuck. Okay. My thinking was, couldn't we do like a blood test? And then see whose it is. You both don't think as much as one of us simply wasting your time. It's a bit of a fight to see otherwise. There's no way it's beat. Just need to hang around there a little longer. Okay.
Objection!
No, please take a look at this piece of evidence. Anything come to mind? I'm gonna take that as a no then. If there's something you would like to say? Ah, fellow deaf ears.
Objection!
How? Sorry, Detective Sky. But the police missed something important in their investigation. Huh? What are you talking about? And the victim was undeniably a Kuranese native. This crime scene photo proves it. Why? Because of the peach? It does? It's a little hard to see, but look closely. I'll see a clear proof the victim is Kuranese. Where? I don't see anything that will prove that. This proves the victim is Kuranese.
Take that!
I'm going to assume a peach. Look at this tattoo right here. Why, that's a tattoo of a peach. I would like you all to think about the meaning of this tattoo. Oh, I don't really like peaches. Well, peaches are a favourite delicacy here in Kuwait. They happen to be a personal favourite of mine. The sweetness of their abundant nectars and the softness of their perfectly ripe flesh. They are a blessing from the Holy Mother herself. Heck, I've suddenly got a craving for peaches. That's our charm. Right now we have bigger fish to fry. Unfortunately, that is not a tattoo of a peach. It is not a peach, you say? Then what is it? Take a closer look. Haven't you seen something like that before? Namely the tattoo of the High Priest's brow. His mark is only borne by members of the Curator's clergy. So that is what you believe it to be. But are they not utterly different shapes? Sure, they're shaped differently, but there's a reason for that. The victim had the peach-shaped tattoo inked over an existing tattoo for some reason. However, the dark red portion is exactly the same as the mark of the Kuranist clergy bear. Hey, you're right. About 20 odd some odd years ago, everyone did get one, didn't they? I myself bear one on my right buttock. That isn't entirely too much information, Your Majesty. Information on everyone who enters the clergy is maintained at the temple. All we have to do is look up a monk with a mark in the same spot. I might. I don't even know if I get any hits. That will not be necessary. If you seek information on the clergy, I have it all right here. Oh my, never cease to amaze. So tell us, is there anyone who fits the bill? There is just one, and his name is Real Nemu. As in real name. Real name. Goodness me. They never cease with the puns, really, do they? He became a monk 20 years ago. That must be the victim's real name. But why would he have tried to cover up his tattoo with another one? Yeah, there must have been some reason. Nick, that's not important right now. The important thing is we know his real name. You're right. Your Majesty, now we know the victim's real name, the divination seance might finally work. A lawyer who willingly seeks a seance. This is entirely unprecedented. You are but taking your own grave defense. We won't know that until we try. Sure, it's risky, but it's our only hope. Very well. The divination seance be held once more. Hello again, Rafer. Happy now? The hired lawyer works so hard to see the divination seance be held once more. You are a fool, Bobhead, and your foolishness shall yield no gratitude from me. For the truth, with the truth revealed by my insights, I shall gladly seek your demise. Bring it on, Princess. So, correctly interpret each and every one of your insights. You will regret ever thinking you would use my sacred insights as evidence. I highly doubt we're going to see much, because he was praying at the time, so, like, yeah.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Okay, yeah, it's literally just the same. Now, let's see what this one brings up. Although, I doubt we'll see much. Yeah, King Gil. Plain Punisher theme. Heavy. Pain. I know where that is. That's why there's hand marks there. Interesting. Oh my! It's just as Mr. Wright surmised. Praise a lot wasn't the victim's true name. And now at last we have seen the victim's final moments. But we could see was the ground. Nah, no, we couldn't. What we could actually see, right, was the green plinth thing. That's why the Plumed Punisher theme was ringing. You seem terribly disappointed. I take it you did not find any fodder for one of your infamous turnabouts? I, on the other hand, have discovered something. Conclusive evidence that establishes the accused's guilt. You did? Ha 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 ha. A most surprising surprise attack. So, tell us, Prosecutor Sarmadi, what is this conclusive evidence you have found? The Plumed Punisher theme song that the deceased heard. Please consider this item here. It was confiscated from the accused during her interrogation. Hey, that's my Plumed Punisher strap! When you press the magatama on the Plumed Punisher's belt. Ah! It seems the accused inadvertently pressed the button in the midst of a crime. This strap is an extremely rare item. Is it not, Miss Faye? You better not break it. There's ain't one of those in the whole wide world. Maya, no! It is just as I said. Your flights of fancy have come crashing down on you. She sure seems to be enjoying this. Yeah, I've never seen her look so thrilled before either. It's time to accept the fact that divination science is far more than mere evidence. It's the very truth that brings the hammer of justice down upon the accused. That is as conclusive as evidence can get. Now then, if no further objections... Slow down there, Your Majesty. At least let me make a counter-argument. What's this? Do you take issue with the divination seance? Oh, I have issues with it. I just don't know what they are yet. That's never stopped me before. The divination seance is not the absolute truth. It only becomes the truth after it's been interpreted correctly. You do not know when you are beaten, do you, foolish lawyer? I am the only one who speaks for the matama of the deceased. If you believe there to be errors in my insights, then let us see you prove it. Okay, I will. The victim was offering up his prayers. It was the night of the rite. Although it's dark, the pattern on Plaza's ground was visible. Then someone was there, and the theme to the Plumed Punisher filled the air. The accused held the defenseless victim down and plunged her knife into his neck. The blade struck true, and in that instant he departed from this world. That is everything the deceased experienced in his final moments. Her benevolence's insights have painted a detailed picture, both vivid and true. I didn't notice any holes there. As we stand now, those insights are really stacked against us. I'll just have to go over each and every one of the diseased sensations very carefully.
Objection!
I don't think it is. No, it's not. It was worth a try.
Objection!
It wouldn't have been the Knight of the Right if he could spell Gingle or Gingel or whatever. Was it really the Knight of the Right? What do you mean? It could not be otherwise. The accused slew Acolyte Salot after killing the High Priest during the purification rite. The problem is that the deceased spirit does not corroborate that. What's this? Take a good look at what the victim smelled. Do you see how it says Gingle? Acolyte Salot shouldn't have smelled any Gingle on the Knight to the Right. What do you mean? Let me back up my statement with some evidence for you. This should explain how the victim couldn't have smelled Gingle on the Knight to the Right.
Take that!
The High Priest's wife, Beli Bimmi, told me about the Feast of Blessings. The feast includes a number of Gingle-based dishes, and they are only supposed to be served at a certain time the day before the rite. Why, I believe you're right. I completely forgot about that. And during the feast, the unique smell of Gingle pervades the entire kingdom. If this guy was, he had to have been a rebel then. The fact that the victim smelled it means he was murdered between noon and 3 PM the day before the purification rite. I am not so easily fooled. And did that autopsy report not make it clear? The estimated time of death was during the rite. Oh, right. I told her about that yesterday. Forgive me, your benevolence, but the estimated time of death is just that an estimate. Depending on the circumstances, it's possible for it to change. What's this? Like, if a body was kept cold, the slowed rate of decay makes the death seem more recent. Why, I believe I've heard something of the sort before. Just as Mr. Wright claims, the estimated time of death in the autopsy report will have been revised. Barbed head, you blinded me with science. Sorry. Wait, what am I apologizing for? No matter. The murder may have occurred in the afternoon hours the day before the rite. Nevertheless, the murder weapon with the accused's prints on it is incontrovertible evidence. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth.
Are we going to finish it?
We'll see how I get on. We'll try and finish it today. It may not be this live stream, but we'll definitely finish it today, just due to work and all that. Time of death has been corrected, leaving my insight infallible. Nick! And changing the time of death is bound to cause some sort of inconsistency. I had something that showed what it was like on that day. It could really help.
Want some help?
Hang on. Because what it is realistically, it's knowing there should be snow on the ground, right? That's what we're trying to get at the minute. But I can't present. Let's just play for a minute. Balloon Punisher theme. Heavy. Pain. Nothing.
Objection!
Okay, yeah. I thought it was, but then I was like, surely it can't be that easy, right? But no, it was. I was just overthinking it. And the change in the date and the time of the crime has caused new inconsistencies to surface. What's this? Oh, you are making that irritating face again. Cease that at once. Sorry, but this is the face I was born with. Now, let's focus on what is important. What the victim saw in his final moments. Pardon me. Do you have bats in the belfry, barbed head? There's nothing to see. Yeah, that's the thing. It's really irritating, but there we go. The ground of the victim was to the victim's eyes. And that's what I find so strange. On the day before the riot, it should have been impossible to see that pattern on the ground. Impossible to see? To explain. This piece of evidence shows why the plaza's ground was not visible that day.
Take that!
This newspaper has an article that is tiny in size, but huge in importance. It says that the ground was covered with thick... The victim did not see so much as an ice cube on the ground. Exactly. And so you must ask, what was the victim looking at in his final moments? If you have something to say, then say it. The last thing the victim saw was not on the ground at the Plaza of the Devotion. This can only mean that he was killed elsewhere.
2 second lag.
What? 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 And where do you propose the victim was actually killed? Yes, tell us where, otherwise your argument is worthless. About that. I haven't got to that part yet. Any ideas where? Let me think. Well, it's something green and shaggy, right? Right, but where can that be? What is it, barbed head? Giving up already? Not at all. Now, where have I seen something green and shaggy? This shows where the victim was killed.
Take that!
The secret hideout the rebels were using. A rebel hideout? There's no such place anywhere on the floor of that chamber. You're absolutely right. There's no place on the floor anyway. And what did the victim see in his final moments if not the floor of the rebel hideout? This is what the victim saw in his final moments.
Take that!
The shaggy green surface of the victim saw was the moss-covered stone slabs. As you can see, there are two distinct hand-shaped impressions on the moss here. I believe the victim was killed while he stood there with his hands pressed against the slab. I disagree with this seance vision. However, one cannot definitely declare they are one and the same. I concur. There is no proof that... I was going to say, he was just... You know that lickable wallpaper that you get in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? That's exactly what he was doing. He was just there like... just licking the moss. Indeed, what moss could taste that nice? I shall have to try it for myself. Well, I've already done that. It's actually pretty vile. What do you mean? I mean, it's disgusting. It's moss. What do you want from me? And please take a look at this second version of the photo I just showed you, however. You can see the results of the luminol test I performed in the Rebel Hideout. This is proof positive that someone had been bleeding in front of the float stone slab. Is this true? This information has already been provided to the police. Detective Sky, to whom does this blood belong? We thought it was the High Priest's blood that flowed in from outside, so we haven't really tested it yet. Then you must do so at once. Yes, Your Majesty. Oh dear. Where's the place of finished testing blood? Detective Sky, your report, please. The blood found in the rebel hideout belongs to Perez a lot, just like the defense claims. Detective Sky, do you realize what your blunder has done to me? It is, it's Phoenix's. Damn. It was blood from when he passed out while trying to pray, but there we go. When this trial concludes, I want to see you in my prayer chamber. There I will deliver a joyous sermon onto you for 8 hours straight. I'm really sorry, but please don't think about that. Nick, maybe, just maybe, this is the chance we've been waiting for.
Wind
Yep.
blows through your mouth.
Oh, it seems so. Don't worry about it. I hate to do this, Emma, but go for it. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. The victim was killed in the rebel hideout the day before the purification rite. Then his body was moved to the Plaza of Devotion by someone we've yet to identify. So when we thought we saw acolytes a lot praying during the rite, he was already dead. Oh. And that's how the time of death was made to look later than it actually was, the proof of which was left behind in the sanctum. This points to how the time of death was made to appear later than it actually was.
That is loud.
Take that!
Why, these are photos of the inner sanctum. I'd like you to focus on this one. Well, the proof is right here in this photo. This is how the time of death was made to appear later than it really was. Do you see how the snow has been removed from this one spot only? That's because it was used to keep the victim's body cold. And that's why the time of death wasn't what it seemed. The time was mistaken. And the place too. And what do you believe? And just what do you believe that proves? That my client is innocent. What are the fingerprints on the dagger and the balloon punisher theme the victim heard? You have failed to address these two key pieces of evidence. I see your point. Wasn't this your big chance, Nick? I'm really hoping that a difference in the location can invalidate either a weapon or the theme song from being used as evidence against you. Actually, that might be possible. At least for one of them. Really? What's this? You say you can contradict our argument for a key piece of evidence? Well, that can't be the case because... Clock. It's in the place where real name Zalot, whatever you want to call him. He was there, Plumed Polisher Clock, in the corner, right next to him. Right? I hope so. I mean, it would make sense, really. Nick, take a look at the Rebel Hideout photo.
Remember the clock is
Oh, yeah. The clock wasn't active, was it? Heck. Okay. That's my neck. The defense can invalidate this piece of evidence. To be fair, I think that's where they're going for the time being. The Plumed Punisher theme came from the clock. I think that's where they're trying to go at this current moment in time. We'll see what happens, but there we go. Since the murder happened in the Rebel Hideout, there's something there that played the theme song other than my client's strap. It wasn't the strap? Is this true? The item that played the Plumed Punisher theme song was this.
Take that!
This is a Plumed Punisher alarm clock. I believe the victim heard its alarm go off. What proof do you have the alarm went off? What proof do you have that it was my client's strap that played the theme song? Oh, do not twist the facts with your loyally wiles. Either way, the accused would still be guilty based off of her prints on the murder weapon. And here's what really happened. The inside has been revised. Ethan stood with his hands on the stone slab in the hideout. It was the afternoon of the day before the rite. Okay. Though there have been some twists and turns, that is the truth of what happened. I won't get anywhere until I can eliminate the dagger. Most impressive, your benevolence. I see no inconsistencies anywhere in the prosecution's case. No. No, there is one. Was it? There's not going to be there to be an inconsistency. Try as you might, the outcome will always be the same. No, let's try this now. Let's have a look. Blue to Punisher theme, heavy, pain. It's the heavy that's confusing me more than anything.
The slab is falling to him.
Oh, that's why it's heavy. Stow his hands on the stone slab in the hideout.
Objection!
That makes a lot more sense now. The victim was originally thought to have been stabbed or bent over in prayer, but he was actually standing with his hands against the stone slab. So the question is, where did the sensation of something heavy come from? Yes, I see your point. Since the victim was standing, he couldn't have been held down. Then tell us, Mr. White, what was that heavy sensation felt by the victim? Of course the heavy sensation's a lot felt. Elsewhere? I agree, that sense of heaviness seems important, but it's also the matter of a lot's hands on the stone slab. Why were they even there? Could it relate to the cause of a heavy sensation? Well, Mr. Wright, do you have an answer for us? Of course. If I just envision the state Salot was in when he was killed. The cause of heaviness the victim felt was... The only conceivable cause is... the stone slab falling over, trapping the victim underneath. What? Oh, the stone slab came falling down on him, crushing him underneath. Right, that was the cause of the heavy sensation the victim felt. While your theory is impressive, you overlooked a key fact. Now, the victim was not crushed to death, rather, he was stabbed. Oh yeah. Or do you claim that the dagger was plunged in after the slab had fallen on him? Plus, had the killer been behind the victim, they would have been both crushed together. Well, would you care to explain? Sure, I'd love to. That doesn't mean I can. Maybe the dagger had been plunged in after the slab fell on the victim. The killer couldn't have plunged the dagger into the victim after the slab fell on him. But what if the murder weapon wasn't what we thought it was? Well, there were other weapons in the rebel hideout. But the entrance to the hideout is right by the stone slab. There's enough space between the two to use any weapons with hand within. Yeah, there's not much space by the entrances there. So, what was the real murder weapon then? I better think of something. The murder weapon wasn't the dagger. The dagger must have been plunged into the victim after he was already dead. That means he was stabbed at least twice, but the autopsy doesn't mention that. Then he must have been stabbed in the same spot with something shaped like the dagger. Will the defense care to offer an explanation sometime this century? Wait, wasn't there something dagger-like near the scene of the crime? Now, I'm assuming it's the pitchfork. Or is it the scythe? I have a few options. You've got the scythe, you've got the pitchfork, you've got the war-bard statue, you've got the arrows. Something that had a shape similar to the war-bard dagger. Present your evidence at this time, Mr. Wright. It shows what really killed the victim.
Take that!
In a sanctum's diagram, we believe the murder weapon is somewhere in the sanctum. This is what really took Perez-a-Lot's life.
Take that!
But that The Warbard statue? Exactly. And the Warbard statue has dagger-like feathers protruding from it. This is what really took the victim's life. You imbecilic fool! The statue is outside of our hideout, and I propose it impaled someone who's inside. Bless me. Haven't you heard? The Warbard statue also functions as the hideout door. What do you mean? A statue can pull a complete switcheroo. A switcheroo? To put it simply, it's a revolving door. A revolving door? A revolving door? That makes perfect sense. Therefore, I believe the truth behind the divination sounds to be this. As the victim entered the secret hideout, the stone sculpture came toppling toward him. He threw up his hands to stop it, but its weight forced him backwards. Unfortunately, the Warbard statue was right behind him. This cannot be! But the accused's fingerprints were found on the dagger. She had held it while rehearsing for the rite. Which is when her prints go on it. This is a shocking turn of events, but I believe we must accept that the Warbard statue is what killed the victim. And now that we know how Acolyte's lot really met his demise, there's no basis for claiming my client committed this crime. Nice work, Nick. How can this be happening yet again? The divination seance is the only truth. No, Your Benevolence. It's not the truth itself, but it is a means for shedding light on the truth. Do you understand now? The kingdom needs lawyers so that they can interpret your insights. But that means I have been misinterpreting the voices of the spirits all this time.
Your Benevolence, are you unwell? Or the colour has drained from your face?
I will be fine. Continue proceedings without me.
As you wish.
I feel kind of bad for her.
Now then, I will have the defence continue. Please explain what you have learned now that we know how the victim actually died.
Acolyte Zalot was killed in the hideout before the High Priest's murder. That means the body found at the Plaza of Devotion was moved there by the real killer. But only after the Warbard dagger was thrust into him, to make it look like the murder weapon.
That does seem to agree with what we now know. But why would the real killer go to such lengths?
I believe stabbing Acolyte Zalot with the dagger and moving it to the plaza was... It was an attempt to make my client look like a serial killer. That's right, the real killer planned all of this forged serial murder case.
They did?
That's it, Nick. Keep hammering away. Your reasoning has more holes in it than your cheese you foreigners so enjoy. What? Like those putrid, hole-ridden clumps of curds that only a rat like you would love. Your reasoning, much like your putrid, hole-ridden brain, is putrefied. Let's just deal with things going putrid. You have yet to overturn my argument that the accused is the killer. A careful analysis of the chain of events up to the killing exposes the truth as follows. Disguised as Lady Kira, the accused found a rebel hideout the day before the rite, but Acolyte Zalot had followed her there after noticing her suspicious behavior. Caught by surprise, she pushed the stone slab toward him, and we know the rest. I've never been to the rebel hideout in my life. When the High Priest arrived at the site the next day, he realized what she had done. That is when the accused murdered him in order to silence him.
I believe prosecutors Hamadi's posed a compelling scenario. The defense, on the other hand, is yet to disprove the accused's guilt.
Why would my client move Acolyte Zalot's body to where everyone could see it? And why would she stab the dagger with her fingerprints into his dead body? She had no reason to do any of those things. The dagger in his corpse was likely a warning to the rebels. Something along the lines of Lady Kira will slay the Defiant Dragons.
So that is why she moved the body to the plaza for all to see.
Oh, he has the judge convinced too? I thought I'd finally make some headway.
Well, Mr. Wright, about time for one of our groans of distress, is it not?
A groan of distress? Kills me to admit this, but I've got nothing to counter his argument with. I still haven't disproven the allegations against Maya.
Is it not time to end your futile struggle? You were already judged guilty yesterday. It makes you a dead lawyer walking. Attempt the death that now awaits you, would accept the death that now awaits you, and in doing so finally know peace.
A dead lawyer walking indeed. Then again, are not all lawyers who practice in Kurai? But I must admit, I have spoken earlier. Allow me to amend my statement. As the defense is reading the putrid cheese-like smell. But I now realize the stench from his own putrid body on the verge of death. I'm a rotting zombie? Think you could have killed Zalot the day before the riot. You knew about the rebel hideout and could gain access to the inner sanctum. I was involved with the riot connection into the sanctum, so... Wait a second. Only a rebel would have known about the sacred hideout. The person who was involved with the riot had access to the sanctum. The most suspected of being a rebel is... Ah! Did somebody come to mind?
Yeah! Except... there's one huge problem.
A huge problem?
What are you two going on about? Plotting your escape from this sacred hall?
I would not put it past you, considering you have no means to raise further objection.
If I don't do something, Prosecutor Sabmani will have this one in the bag. I'll just have to bluff my way out of this regardless of that huge problem.
Your Majesty, I believe there is another suspect in Perez Zalot's murder.
Objection!
Even the most benevolent Holy Mother would not forgive such a desperate lie. After all, you know very well that such a person does not exist.
No, there is one person who knew everything. Does such a figure truly exist? Tell us who that might be.
Maybe the prime suspect in Acolyte Zalot's murder is...
Take that!
It had to be someone allowed to enter the sanctum and who knew of the hideout. And that would be the High Priest. He could have committed the crime if it occurred the day before the riot. You would pin a crown upon the dead, knowing very well that tell no tales.
Have you no shame?
If only the High Priest could tell his side of the story. What? Do I have something on my face? What is it, Nick? Do I have a spot? Oh god, not the spots again. Wait a second. Could this actually work? Oh no. Don't tell me I have some breakfast got between my teeth. No. There's even the slightest possibility I'll have to go with it. Your Majesty, dead men do tell tales. Therefore, I would like to request the High Priest's testimony.
His testimony? It does not propose we get the deceased to testify.
There's a way for the dead to testify. It's known as... Summon him here by means of spirit channeling.
What did you say?
Spirit channeling? Has this life finally gone insane? This is sacrilege. May the Holy Mother strike you down.
Peace. I'm frankly astonished to even know of such a thing. But spirit channeling is a secret art that only Her Eminence Queen Grant can perform. And Her Eminence is far too busy with other duties to perform it at our pleasure.
I suspect as much. That means our only hope is... It's okay, Nick. You can tell them. But Maya, I thought you wanted to keep it a secret here in Kurai. Don't worry. It's not like it's against the law or violates some religious precepts, so... I don't think we'll be punished. At least, I hope not. This is a crucial period for you. You'll decide whether you become a master of Kurain. We don't really have a choice now, do we? Now, if you don't feel guilty, it'll be a lot worse than not becoming a master of Kurain. Alright. Thanks, Maya. Actually, there's someone here who's capable of channeling spirits. But even her benevolence, Princess Raven finds the divination seance to be a challenge. Who could possibly have greater spiritual power than she, aside from the Queen? That would be me. Is this some sort of a joke? A foreigner could not possibly have such power. Even the royal priestess is incapable of such a feat.
Peace, I say. Is this true? Is the accused capable of performing a secret of spirit channeling?
Well, yes, I can. Now, Your Majesty, we'd like your permission to begin. Oh. Your Benevolence! This is an outrage! An outrage, I say! First you make a mockery of the divination seance, and now spirit channeling. Her Benevolence speaks the truth. Spirit channeling is a sacred right. Foreign devils, I say they should be put to death immediately. Still your voices. Barbed head, spirit channeling is the most sacred and secret of arts. Are you prepared to face the consequences of what you propose? Yes, I am.
Man Maya.
Your Benevolence, are you saying you approve of their use of spirit channeling?
I will judge whether their claim is true. If this is but another of their lies, they should be executed on the spot.
Very well then. Your Benevolence, what if the accused accidentally calls forth an evil spirit?
Do you truly believe this foreigner is capable of channeling spirits?
Oh, no, but I want to be sure, as I am responsible for the safety of all present.
Well, an inexperienced practitioner could inadvertently call forth a dangerous spirit, but do not fear, for I have a Magatama of parting. With it, I can send spirits back to the Twilight Realm by halting the flow of spiritual power.
That is a relief indeed.
These foreigners have thrown down the gauntlet. Let us not shirk from the challenge. We must prove them guilty and deliver their last rites. Do I make myself clear, Prosecutor Sarpati?
Perfectly, Your Benevolence. Very well. The accused may channel the high spirit, priest's spirit. But first, we must take a short recess to prepare. We'll resume as soon as preparations are complete. Until then, this court is adjourned.
I'm going to sneeze. That's me. To be continued. And this to be continued, I think, is a good place to save off. That's it, because, in theory, like you said, we shouldn't have much long left. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really, really does help. Click the bell icon down below to be notified when I live stream or upload a video. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!